All right, we should be recording here. Hope my voice is in there. And our first problem. On my screen, this problem shows up as problem 1.1.18. And it's got two parts to it. The first part says to graph this function. You can click here to have a graph. F of x, that's just f of x is like a y, it's your output. Your x is your input, domain is your x, f of x like y, your range, your answers. So if I put in a negative number and square it, it's going to be positive. If I put it in the positive, so the left and right, you're going to have some symmetry here. And then I'm thinking about the whole idea how on this problem, if I use a number that 3 is divisible by, it'll like cancel here. So what if I put in a 3 squared here? So I'd have like 1/3 times 3 squared, which is 3 times 3, right? And so this dividing by 3 and this multiplying by 3 undo each other, cancel their inverses, those phrases. And so it's going to end up equaling a 3 when I'm done. And so when we go to graph this, if I put in 0, that's going to be the smallest I can be because the x squared will always be positive. But if I put in a 0, that's 0. So that's the smallest I can. So I'm going to pick my numbers to test on this one just strategically. And so when I do that right here, I'm going to put in, it's a parabola. And that 0, 0. And then what I said, when I put in 3, I got a 3 back. So looking where those dotted lines are there. Oh, I don't think that hit 3, 3. Let's clear this if I can. Wish I could make this window a little bigger. It's just smaller than I want. So I don't want to save this. An object is selected, delete it or move it. So I'm going to hit the delete key, see if that takes it out. Let's click that and hit the backspace or delete. Okay, there we go, got it cleared. That was the delete button on my keyboard I had to use. So my 0, 0 again, because that's the smallest. And then 3, 3, I felt like I missed that the last time. Three, 3. Right there, come on. Okay, that one, I think I got it that time. Wish I could zoom in so I could see that a little bit more careful. So let's save that. And you can scroll down here and see if I hit it here a little better. There's 3, there's 3, went through 0, 0, so I think that should be good. All right, then when I did the next part of this problem, I tried recording this once and messed it up. This next part, you're talking about the domain and range. Remember, domain is the x's, so left to right. How far to the left does this go for, again, remember I'm talking about domain. If I'm talking about domain, that's the x value, so left and right. And so this would go forever to the left. You can put any negative x in here you want and forever to the right. So your domain is all real numbers. So this domain is wanting us to specify. Now, what I did wrong the last time is I used interval notation. If you guys remember how to do that, you always got to read these directions carefully. They want an inequality. So remember, that's like your less than, greater than type of symbols. So let's see, if I go down here, my domain, all real numbers right here. So it's one of these last two, but my range, the range is the y. And so when you're doing range, again, that's like your y, that's up and down. So I always have to think carefully, like when I'm in interval notation, lowest to highest. So it starts at 0 and goes forever up. So that would be C here that we need to choose. And when we're going to type this in, I wanted C. My Y is greater than on my keyboard, shift and the period. And then I want equal to also. So I'm going to hit equal to, and that, so I just did the greater than key and the equals right after it. And it knows to make that as a greater than equal to, and it's 0. So it's starting, my Y's start at 0 and go forever up. All right. So I think that should cover this problem. And it is. So there's problem 1.1.18. I don't see that on the screen anymore. If they change that, or it might not be very helpful for you guys. So there we have it.